Alright, welcome back. A little bit different of a video today. We're going to be taking a ride out to Georgia to go to Lanier Marine Liquidators. It's basically like a boat salvage yard. We're going to be looking for the ski pylon that hooks onto here, there, and there's another hook over there. That way it puts a nice tow hook right up here above the outboard. So we're going to be looking for that. We're also going to be looking for a trim pump. This one is not working at all. So we're gonna get ready to head out there. It's about a 3 hour 45-minute drive, so gonna take a ride out there. Hopefully let's see if we can find some of these parts. Alright, so we came here for that the electronic trim pump, or the hydraulic trim pump. I think we found 2 of them that might work. Also came here for the ski pylon, I think it's called. So outboards have like this type of mount. The inboards have that type of mount. The outboards have like a triangle that kind of poke out of the back. So we ended up finding one. It's not the exact one, but I should be able to make it fit. So I'm gonna run back up to the office and see if they can help me get this pump off. Alright, so we found the part that we need. The guy at the office just gave us a battery. We're gonna come back here, test it real quick just to make sure everything works before we pull it off.
Uh-oh.
I think one of the lines might be broken off. It's just losing pressure. Alright?
Does yours even do that?
Nah, mine doesn't make any noise.
Huh. Oh yeah. Is it loosening?
I think so. Nope.
Nope.
Alright, so it's the next day. We just went and got the new trim pump and the ski rails yesterday. So I am an idiot because the actual trim pump on here works. So there's 2 wires that come out of this. There's like a blue and a green. And the way it works, you hook positive up to one, negative up to the other. The pump runs one way, you reverse the wires, and then it goes the opposite way. When I was testing it out, it wasn't moving at all, but I wasn't testing it out properly. So now I have an extra pump, but we did end up putting in new relays for this. I put new 40 amp relays in there, and as soon as I put them in, it ends up popping this circuit breaker down here, so I don't know why that is. I also found a blown fuse up underneath the dash we replaced, so I still need to mess around with the wiring a little bit. I can hook a little 12-volt battery up to it and make it actually work, which is what we've been doing just to make sure everything was good. So I'm just going to top off the fluid for it real quick, and then we're going to leave it in there for now. Alright, so there's a little fill hole here on the side, right here, and there's this little cap in there, so you pull that out, and that's where you're gonna fill the fluid at. I don't think it's crazy low, but I'm just gonna top it off, make sure it's got enough in there. This is probably gonna spill everywhere. Actually, let me get a different bottle real quick. All right, I just have one of these little squirt bottles here. See if that'll help. Well, looks like it's taking a good bit. Alright, let's throw the cap on there and let's cycle that a couple times. Cool. So yeah, it's like two stages. There's a little pump down here, a little ram that does the trim portion of it, and then there's two hydraulic rams, one on both sides, that does the actual like tilt function, which tilts it all the way up. So it's got like two different speeds. One, the trim obviously is gonna be a lot slower than the actual like tilt function where you tip it all the way up, and then once you get the bar all the way up, or get the motor all the way up, you have this little bar that you insert that kind of holds it and supports it while it's up in the air. So it looks like everything's good there. Again, there's something wrong with the wiring. As soon as I put the new 40 amp relays in there, it ends up popping the circuit breaker immediately. So there must be a short or something in the wiring. I'm gonna have to mess around with that and see if I can find it. All right, while we're back here, I'm gonna check the gear fluid in the bottom end here. So there's a vent hole at the top. There is a fill hole. Oh, I can definitely smell the fluid in there. And then there's a drain hole at the bottom. Hopefully it doesn't come out milky. Perfect. Not milky at all. Definitely stinks. Let that drain out of there. So obviously if it's milky, that would mean that there's some water that got mixed into it, which means that probably had a bad seal somewhere, but that is straight black and definitely needed to be changed. God, this stuff stinks. Seal on the bolt looks good too. Can reuse that. Probably should replace it, but I don't have one. Now the way you fill these, you actually fill them from the bottom up. Don't really know why, but put the new gear lube. You end up hooking one of these pumps to it, and then we're gonna pump it in that bottom hole until it starts to leak out of this top hole here, up top here. Alright, so that's about done draining. Probably go a little bit longer, but that's pretty much everything. So we'll put this in here. It's actually coming out a lot.
there's a good bit of black oil still coming out, so I'm gonna actually keep pumping this a little bit more just to try and get some of the. Alright, that should be good. And we cap these back off and we should be good. Alright, so I ended up just filling it from the top one. This hole says vent, that one says fill. Every video I've seen, they've pumped it from the bottom up until it drains out. But this this connection was just loose, so I just pumped it from the top and waited until it came out of the vent hole, so it should be fine. It's the same amount of fluid going in, so. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this video. So we got all the fluids changed in the lower unit there, as well as filled up the fluid on the trim pump. Next video, we're going to finish up the radio, as well as starting to put the engine back together. I started filming it already, but I'm missing some parts, so figured we'd jump ahead and film this real quick. But yep, next video we'll get the engine back together and hopefully get it fired up for the first time.